We are on day 20 in our fast of Daniel, and we're going to bring you to John chapter 20, verse 19. Jesus came and stood in the midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." That was in a moment where the disciples, they were afraid because there was a huge persecution. And Jesus highlighted here that with words, you can calm the storm. With words, you can change the environment and you can create a moment where people can calm down. Words have power, and especially when dealing with our family, especially when we are dealing with our kids, parenting. How many times parents they discover about the mistakes of their kids, and we can never say that we did not make mistakes when we were a child. But our reactions, they can cause children either to withdraw, or our reactions can actually help our kids to open up. I never forgot when I was growing up that my mom, she told me, "Listen, you can tell me anything. Even if you make mistakes, you can always knock on my door and I'll be there to listen to you. But one thing I hate, it's when you lie. If you lie, then trust is broken." And I always remember that. And there was a moment in my life when I had to open up to my mom about me getting in trouble at school. And as a child, you expect to be scolded, you expect to be rebuked, you expect anything could be possible. But in that moment, though my mom wasn't happy and she did not agree with my behavior, but her reaction gave me a sense of comfort. I can open up, I can share my weaknesses, I can be vulnerable, and I can let her know my mistakes, my wrongs, because she will not judge me. And that was so important because that allowed me to develop a relationship with her of trust. And a lot of people that we have been counseling, we discovered that it's normal when parents they learn about mistakes of their kids, their teenagers, their young adults that they have, and some secrets that were hidden or some things that happened that are truly unacceptable. Some things that happen are really unacceptable. It can be related to drugs, it can be related to getting in trouble with the law, it can be related to abuse. In short, there's a long list. However, if a child is afraid to open up, then you create another problem because the child will bring their problems to someone else. When Jesus said, "Peace be with you," and he repeated that for the second time, he was telling them, "You can open up to me. Let me know you're wrong. Let me know what you're going through. I'm here for you. I'm ready to listen. I will not judge you. Um, in me, you can find a friend and not an enemy." And that's why our thoughts for today is the following: words have power. Words have power to establish a bridge. Words have power to break a bridge, a connection. Words have power to save. Words have power to condemn. Words have power to heal and unite. Words have power to bring a distance and to create a wall. So words are very powerful in families, especially when you want to bring your family closer to God.
And you were saying that sometimes if the person or the child is not able to talk to the parents, they will talk with someone else. But there are cases that they don't talk to someone else. It's just that they keep everything within themselves to the point that they end up thinking there is no solution for the problems. They feel hopeless. And that's where many, you hear cases of children wanting to kill themselves. I was like that. So sometimes I would be in trouble. And I was very scared to tell my mother, especially my mother, what happened, because I was not just afraid that she was going to give me a whip, but I was also afraid of her reaction. So sometimes words can be a reaction that you have. So you need to be watchful what you say, how you react, so that you do not burn these bridges.
Yeah. And that's the whole purpose of the fast of Daniel. We're on day 20. The purpose of the fast is draw closer to God, embrace the thoughts of God, be filled with the mind of God, and for us to allow ourselves to mirror the Lord Jesus through our actions and reactions, reflecting the Lord Jesus. What would Jesus do in my shoes? Jesus spoke peace, promoted peace through his words. Okay? Our thought for today, words have power. Okay? Keep that with you and take time to reflect on that and practice immediately the power of words promoting peace in your family, in your workplace, in your surroundings, also when you speak to yourself. All right? This is our fast of Daniel journey. And tomorrow we're going to be back with day 21. Join us again. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.
God bless.
Can you hear the sound of the fireworks? Yes, another year is coming to an end. And what have you prepared for the coming year? At this time of the year, it's common for many people to set new goals and raise their expectations for the following year. But when you think about it, nothing is very different from previous years. Is it? Losses, failures, disappointment, sadness, certain difficulties and problems that have persisted year after year. And you ask yourself, how can I have a different life? Even though we are nearing the final days of this year, there is still time for you to rise up and take the step that can provoke the transformation you've been longing for. The New Year's Eve Night Vigil, Wednesday, 31st December, 10 p.m. Join us for this special opportunity to place God first, before anything else, as we step into a new year with faith, purpose, and a renewed spirit.